So I finally found some time to start playing with the new navigation multiple backstacks update that Ian Lake and I'm sure a bunch of other people have been working on at Google. If you don't know what I'm talking about, they've been working on implementing a system for multiple backstacks for fragments, navigation component, and also Jetpack Compose, so that basically, like if you open up an app like Instagram, for example, each entry on the bottom navigation has its own separate backstack. So when you visit those entries, it restores the backstack. So it's exactly kind of how the user left it. Ian and some of the other fine people over at Google looks like they've been working on this since 2018, or at least this is when the issue was first brought up, I guess. 828 people have started this issue. So like a lot of people have been waiting for it, and it's been finally kind of released. Or sort of released into the public anyway. There's no documentation on it yet, or there's very little documentation. Ian's got a great Medium article that he wrote, the advanced sample on the Android Jetpack architecture architecture component samples, the advanced navigation sample that's been updated, and also there's a YouTube video. So I'm sure probably a lot of you have seen this YouTube video, navigation multiple backstacks mad skills, released June 14th 2021, where I don't know how to say his name and I don't want to say it wrong, so I'm not going to try. This guy goes through how they updated the advanced navigation sample to now support multiple backstacks. Basically, in this video, he just goes through and he like deletes a bunch of, he updates the version, deletes a bunch of code, and then magically it works. And I have to say that in my experience, so I updated like an old project of mine, my Open API app. Some of you probably watched this course, the Powerful Android Apps course. So I updated that code, and it pretty much did exactly as they said. I pretty much just deleted a bunch of code, updated the versions, and it basically just worked. I got to delete that huge monstrosity of a class, the bottom navigation UI controller thing that they used to suggest as a workaround. Just basically delete that. It was great. It felt very good, very liberating. I ran the app, and with a few other small changes, it pretty much just worked. So let's actually just take a look at an example. So right here, I have my Open API app, and a lot of you probably have taken this course, like I said, maybe some of you didn't. But essentially, it's a blogging app where, like, if I click on a blog, it takes me to a detail screen. And if I was to click on another entry on the bottom nav, there's a kind of different, it's a different backstack entirely. So like if I go back to the original home tab, see that backstack is maintained. It doesn't take me to the home destination. That backstack is maintained. And this isn't my original code. This is now me updating the code to the new navigation artifact, and everything pretty much just works. The only thing that I would say that is missing from this, and I hope that Ian is watching this video, because I'm basically making this video for you, Ian, instead of making a feature request, because I wanted to make sure I explained myself instead of trying to explain myself in text. I always find that much more difficult than just showing you on video. So essentially what I think should happen, and actually let me pull up the advanced navigation sample just to really show you what I'm talking about. So in the advanced navigation sample, if you click about, you navigate inwards, and then if I was to click another entry on the bottom nav, that's all good. So now if I press the back button though, it goes back to the original home destination. So essentially it's like the backstack on that first entry is not kept, which is apparently this is the expected behavior, but I just think it would be nice to be able to like opt in to this, to having it maintained, because I'm sure a lot of people want this. Actually, I know a lot of people want this. I've talked to people personally, and they said that that's the behavior that they want. Apps like Instagram, that's what they do. If you click anywhere, navigate inwards, I'm just clicking random stuff here. And if I was then to like go to my profile and press back, that backstack is maintained. So, apps like Instagram do it. YouTube also does this. So if you click on like, I don't know, click over here on Explore, go to like fashion and beauty, sure. And then go over to library. So I'm switching tabs. Then if I press the back button, that backstack is maintained. So again, that's, just another example of that behavior. But some apps don't do that. Like if you go to Twitter, Twitter does not do this. Twitter actually does it exactly how the navigation component does it. So if I was to go to like search and click on, COVID-19, and then maybe go over to my notifications. So if I press the back button now, it actually does take me to that home destination. So there I press back and it goes to the home destination. So that's what the navigation component artifact will do right now. So I just think it would be cool to like be able to opt into either one of the behaviors, whichever one you wanted to. So that's basically the feature request that I have for you, Ian, and anybody else at Google who is watching this. I'm sure it's not simple for you guys to do this, but like if you have like your main graph where you have your whatever graphs you want to include on your bottom navigation, it would be cool to have like a flag, like right here in your navigation, your top level navigation tag here, just to say like, maintain backstack or something like that, and just set that equal to true. That would be cool. And then you could like opt into that behavior where if you press the back button, it navigates back to whatever sort of navigation item you were at, and also restores the backstack for that item that you were at. Essentially, it's like the same as like clicking on the navigation item again. Same kind of thing. But other than that, overall, like I said, this looks awesome. It's pretty much exactly as it's advertised. You update the version, get to delete a bunch of code, and everything just kind of magically works. It's easy to tie into the navigation bar, so I guess I can show you an example of that too. So like all you got to do in your activity is create this app bar configuration thing, and then just say, toolbar set up with nav controller, pass the nav controller, pass your app bar configuration, and then it knows like what your home destinations are. So there's no like back arrow up in the top corner unless you're at a home destination. Everything's just really simple, like 100 times simpler than the workaround that existed before, that huge sort of bottom navigation controller thing that you had to use with multiple nav host fragments and all that stuff. So great job, people at Google. You get my thumbs up for whatever that's worth. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to check out my website, codingwithmitch.com, where there is the best Android courses on the planet. Go check it out. I'll see you there.